I can conduct the funeral rite for you if you would like.
Do you have a license? He says.
No.
Then I'm sorry.
But I do know some moderately powerful sealing magic to make sure that he gets where he's going and nothing gets in his way.
He holds up a hand and says, "It's alright. Agron will go into the Trident. He'll let the people there know. They'll send someone else. They can deal with this. There's a lot of paperwork we have to follow." And then Agron goes back inside and you hear him sort of like flipping stuff about, shoving stuff into his pack. And then Aston just sits down next to his father, puts a hand around his shoulders, and then he sort of just like pinches the bridge of his nose a little bit. And just lets out a deep sigh, just...
Is my eating audible, by the way?
Nope.
Alright, cool.
I don't really know what to do. Thorin just stands there and looks around at his friends. Feeling like he should do something, but doesn't know.
Oh, that was a bummer.
Yeah. What a buzzkill.
Because I went to meet the delivery driver, I missed the important parts of the conversation. But
The old guy.
I'm still down for the plan of trying to talk to the snake and then figuring out how we go from there.
Yeah. Oh, just what you missed was the old guy just died of old age right in front of us. just right then.
West, I love your campaign.
And then he takes a deep sniffle, just... Look, we've still got rooms for you if you want to stay. I'll just stay out here for a while.
We don't want to impose.
No, it's alright. We've already set up the beds.
I really have no issue with imposing.
Yeah, that's why you're having etiquette lessons as soon as...
And he sort of like leans up to the barrel and fills up a mug of ale. And then he places one in sort of like on the lap of his father and then grabs another one. And he sort of clinks the glasses together as he takes another sip from his own.
Oh, that's really sad.
Tobias stands up and says, I'll give you a moment. And he heads inside.
I'll stand up too, and I'll kind of like usher Carlius, and knowing Longshore, I might have to drag him by his collar, but I'll be like, we'll give you some space. And I'd like to take everybody else inside as well.
I'm resisting every urge I possibly have to start crying as well, because I instantly think back to, Town Loop Town. Time Loop Town, sorry.
I like Town Loop Town.
So you
So
guys
do
sort
I,
of,
actually.
So you guys sort of open the front door, you go in, and as you move past the main hallway, Agron with like a hand on a backpack, he sort of like brushes past a lot of you, not really making any small chat. And he just busts out the front door, and you hear a horse whinny off in the distance. And then like the clicking of horse hooves on the floor as he starts to leave. And you eventually make your way into sort of like the main living quarters, and it's like this big living room with various beds already sprawled out on the floor, and without any dividing wall or whatever, there's like a stove there just for cooking or whatnot. Fairly small, moderate hut.
Find a place to settle down for the night, I suppose.
Yeah.
Unobtrusive.
We need to eat. We need to eat dinner.
Got rations.
That's true. Maybe it would be kind to...
You look up at the stove, and you see that there is currently a stew that's just started to bubble.
Oh. Do I know if that's... Is this...
That signifies that the stew is okay and done.
Okay. I'll, hit that heat then. Turn it off.
Yeah, you do so. And there's a big pot of stew.
Poke my head out, be like, hey, the stew's done. Took it off the heat. If you guys are hungry, I can dish it up for you.
This is to the person outside?
Yeah, first to the people outside, and then to friendos.
He just turns over to look at you a little bit, and you see his eyes are very red, but no actual tears have come out. And he just says, "No, it's alright. I'll have one last drink with my father."
Do you mind if we partake?
Go ahead.
Cool. I'll go back inside, and I'll put down a gold coin next to the food just to show thanks. And then I dish up everybody food except the guard.
And everyone can roll perception.
Yahoo!
Woohoo! Wow. Oh. Now, if the next person gets a 15, I will laugh really hard.
We get triple inspiration.
Right. 15. Daddy needs a new pair of eyes.
Oh, well, close enough. Yeah, everyone notices that the guy who was leading you is nowhere to be seen.
Should we...
Didn't he go inside?
He did go inside, didn't he? Yeah, he barged past us inside.
Can we check if he's still fucking alive?
You look around the whole house, there is only one entrance, the front door. You check every room, just sort of squinting in through. You check like the main master bedroom, quote unquote, and the storage room. He's nowhere to be seen.
This job gets shadier and shadier.
Yeah. Let's hold off on the food for now.
Yeah.
Perhaps we'll do what we did in the shared room. We'll just eat our own rations and we'll have someone on watch.
Sounds like a good idea.
All right.
I don't want to accuse them of anything, but a lot of things just happen in a very short period of time, and I'm not sure if I'm believing all of it anymore.
Better safe than sorry.
Alright, so who takes first watch?
That'll be me.
Oh, right, Carlius.
I don't mind taking first watch. I haven't taken first watch in quite a while.
I'd recommend that, because
Actually, I haven't even taken watch at all in quite a while.
When Carlius takes first watch in a sketchy situation, he always ends up with a scar from ear to ear.
That is a good point.
Yeah.
Or a lost leg of some description.
Yeah, always.
I mean, I just feel like, even if you ignore me being gone for 3 weeks, I can't remember the last time I took first watch, other than when, like, I insisted on it, even though we were in, like, a safe place just because I was paranoid.
It's alright. Don't need to sell us on it, you can take it if you want.
Alright, Aiden, you take the first watch, and for the first 2 hours of your watch, the sun starts to set and it's fairly dark out here. There's no actual moonlight tonight. You do notice that
Not that that matters to me.
Yeah, it doesn't actually. Let me just update. Almost forgot to keep a track of the dates. Okay, there we go. Eventually you hear sort of like just the tiny whimpers of a man outside the front door. And then you hear sort of like the crunching of some snow as sort of like a mug hits it. And then some more crunching of snow as though someone's walking off to the side of the barn, the side of the hut. And then he comes back to the front door and then he sits down again with the chair creaking in the distance. But he doesn't come in. And then that reaches the end of your watch. As nothing else happens.
Cool.
Who's
taking over for me?
I'll take over.
So as we swap, I just like point at that guy. I'm just like, it's the only one who moved.
Alrighty, I'll keep an eye on him, which I do.
Alright.
Music stopped. Carlius, you're dead.
Carlius and his cursed watches.
Carlius, you sort of open your eyes in the night and you see sort of like the swirling darkness of night. And then as you sort of like open your eyes, you sort of squint a little bit. You see yet again in front of you your three companions pinning Freya down to her knees as she leans in front. She leans forward and looks at you and says, "Why didn't you save me? Why were you so late?"
Okay. Can I roll insight to see whether this is my brain being a dick or whether this is actually happening?
Yes, you can. You're having nightmares so bad that you never thought you would have nightmares this bad before. Sort of a mixture of guilt, fear, and sadness.
So I can tell this is a nightmare while I'm still awake?
It's a nightmare.
Okay. In that case, I respond back by saying, because I am an absolute dick, and that is why.
And then she just says your name out loud, just, "Kalius!" And then all the other shadows repeat, "Kalius! Kalius!"
That's my name, don't wear it out, bitches.
Why don't you save me? Scoop my eyeballs out. Do it. Put me
yourself.
out of my misery. And then your companions sort of still hold her in place as she sort of tries to struggle free, but it's like their grips are iron, like. And you look down at your hand, and yet again you see a knife, a dagger.
I rest the knife right between her knees and then walk off.
You walk off into the distance as you turn around and you see, again, the face sort of appear. Kalius! Save me. Where are you going? You're going to leave like you did before? And leave me to my fate?
Yes.
Then,
Yes, indeed.
as you start to leave off into the distance, you hear her start to scream at you as you leave, and just, "Kalius! Kalius! Kalius!" Then you wake up and you open your eyes, and Aiden's in front of you saying, "Hey, Kalius! Kalius, wake up."
Oh,
Wake the fuck up! I slap him as hard as
well,
I mean,
You
like,
just
I will roll strength for this.
Yeah, this had advantage because he's sleeping.
Thank you.
Can I guidance him somehow?
No, you're asleep.
This is acceptable. It's over 20, so I'm happy.
Just the loudest whack, and then Kalius slaps awake.
I like to imagine, like sleeping bags, but like they don't have like the ones that you zip up. Like you get into them and zip it up, and it's like you're in a cocoon. Like imagine you use one of those, and I slap him right out of it.
Like knocking someone's socks off.
Exactly.
But yeah, Kalius, you eventually wake up. You swap shifts with Aiden.
Fucking asshole. Although you did prove to me that I was right and that was a dream, so thank you. I'll take the watch now. Go to sleep.
Alright. You take the watch, and you don't hear the man at the front door stand up or anything like that. But eventually time passes, and nothing happens for the rest of the night.
Sick.
I would like to, while Kalius is taking watch, shit in his bedroll.
Jacob, make sure you do your athletics though.
Oh, right.
Because I won't be waking you up because I'll cock you out of a long rest.
Yeah, I'll do that instead before I go to bed.
Sure. And eventually, Kalius, you wake up the next person, who would be...
Heyo.
Oh!
So, Thorin, you wake up as well. You sort of sit up and you start to take your watch. Do you do anything?
Yeah, I'm gonna do my athletics thing and then immediately put my armor on because this place is sketching me out.
You do so. Nothing happens for the hours that you're awake.
Alrighty. Alright, yeah, I just pace the
Be right
hall,
back.
poke my head outside, see what they're doing.
You see the guy sort of just arms over the shoulder of his father, and he's sort of like resting his head on his father's shoulder, and they're just sort of sitting there.
Alright. I'll just like pace around the building, occasionally check in, be a good watchman.
Alright. And eventually your watch is up, signaled by a slightly earlier rise of the sun. And even often, like even this far away from town, you can hear off in the distance just the gonging of the bell that's in the trident.
Alright. Yeah, I'll go around and check everybody out, if anybody's sleeping in.
Yeah, you probably have to shake Tobias awake.
Won't be a moment, guys. Sorry.
Okay.
All good.
What did you say, Tobias?
You probably have to shake Tobias awake, because
Alright.
there was a lot of forced marching yesterday.
I want to grab him by the shoulders and shake him, and like as I pull him up, pull him out of bed, and then as I move my arms forward, push him down to the mattress, and just like bounce and shake, and just be like, Tobias! We're under attack! Get your weapons out!
The pillow catches fire, I think.
Thorin stumbles just into the door, just laughing really hard. I like to imagine that shaking, bouncing got your whole body like a good foot off the bed.
Where are we? Who's attacking?
This is your conscience. Here, we'll give Thorin all of your money.
Tobias just like freezes for a couple of seconds, thinks through the events of the day so far, sighs, slumps, waves a hand to put out the fire. Damn it, Thorin.
Like, if you looked over, you would see. Do you know that GIF of Johnny Depp from Pirates of the Caribbean where he's doing like the wiggly finger thing? I'll put it in the put it in the Discord, because if you looked over, that's what Thorin.
I'll be right back a sec.
All good. Okay. So we weren't actually attacked.
Nah.
Watch was fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what did I miss in that brief interlude when I went to the
I
door?
just scared Tobias.
Oh, okay.
There you go. So that GIF in Discord, that's what Thorin's doing when you turn your attention to him. Ooh.
Shoot you a disgruntled look, snap my fingers, and you're in armor, right?
Yeah.
Your helmet smells strongly of urine.
Ah! I take it off.
For once, I'm not involved. Also, just while Wes is gone, and off topic, this is really funny. So,
Alright, back.
my
Oh, come on!
I'm just gonna finish my story anyway.
You may as well.
So, ever since I got this phone, which gave me unlimited uploads to Google Photos, every time my mum sends me a photo of my dog, or because like, I mean, it's at my mum's house, and whenever I take a photo of the dog, I've been adding it to just an album of photos of the dog, which is currently 213 photos strong. So she just sent me a photo of the dog, and this is how used to like, my mum is to just be fucking with everyone at every available opportunity. I'm just like, oh, you sent me the photo of the dog, just reminded me. I'm gonna send you something cool. Are you there so I can see your reaction to it? And she's like, no, please don't send it to me. I don't want anything. You're my son. I love you. Do not send it to me. I'm happy. I don't need a gift. It's fine. And I'm just like, I'm pretty sure you're gonna want this. Trust me. Just look at it. And she's like, no, I'm not gonna look at it. I'd already sent her the link. She's like, no, I'm not opening it. Like, trust me. I will stake my inheritance on opening that link. And then, like, a couple of minutes later, she's like, thank you, I love it.
Just like Pavlovian conditioning everybody to just be afraid of anything you send them.
Yeah, like even the other day, I was like, I'm gonna get you something from Stone. Like no, really. Anyway, welcome back, West. Please continue D&D.
Oh fuck! I missed the call. What the shit?
It was just me telling you to continue D&D. No. It wasn't actually.
It might have been important. Was supposed to work today. Anyway, so everyone sort of wakes up.
Actually, if it's important, you should probably take it. D&D's fun and all, but it shouldn't take precedence over you having a job.
It's alright.
Although you'd have a lot more time for sessions.
So eventually everyone wakes up in the next morning. You're refreshed of all your spell slots if you expended any. You gain all your health back. You lose any temporary hit points if you had any. And you gain half of your maximum hit dice as everyone wakes up for the morning.
Yay.
Got my channel divinity back too.
That helmet's going to smell like urine for an hour, by the way.
I have made my bed and I will now sleep.
Okay. Moving on. Did anything happen during watch during the night from the people who were on watch?
Nothing of interest.
Well, Carlius died, but I mean nothing important.
Like turn to Carlos's bed. He seems to be all right.
And nothing of value was lost.
Yeah, that's the thing about necromancers, eh? Oh shit! I was supposed to say quiet.
About the necromancers.
Yeah, I just lost 5 gold.
Thorin claps his hands together and goes, "Alright, so what's the game plan for today, boys?"
Find a snake, try and reason with it.
Yeah. Do we have... Longshore, you've been around a lot of wildlife, I'm assuming.
If only you had someone in the party who had a specific advantage to tracking beasts.
Yeah. Do you know things that they may like? Something to get on its good side as fast as possible so you can do your fucking brain jack?
See, let me answer that question with a question. West, do I or do I need to roll?
Well, the old man said that it hunted spiders, right? We could
That's true.
go kill a whole bunch of spiders and just leave them out for it. 2 birds, 1 stone.
Hey, you get inspiration. Woohoo.
Hey!
XP for everyone.
Hey!
Goodbye, number of the beast. It's been fun while you were there.
Just I should mention specifically West just for this. I get because we're tracking a beast. I get advantage on any wisdom or survival checks to track them, or on any intelligence checks to recall any information about them.
Isn't it for the ones that you select? So you select the beasts.
I selected
Gotcha.
beasts.
All right, awesome. No, I'll keep that in mind. Just keep reminding me because I'm not going to remember.
My second choice was undead. I just haven't actually put it in my character sheet yet.
Oh, good.
Hey West, can we have 2 XP?
No.
Oh, just so it looks cool?
No.
Oh.
Okay, well...
Wait, why would that make it look cool?
Because then we would have 2, 6, 7, 6, 2.
Yeah, palindrome. I think that's the
We
right
have
word.
negative 1 XP just to fuck with Caleb.
No!
Okay, should we look for the really angry guard who led us here? Because that was suspicious that he just left.
Was he intending on even staying the night? Or did he just lead us here and it's like, alright, you're on your own?
If he left, we should have noticed him leaving. There's only 1 entrance.
That's
So
true.
he's
I was
like
distracted
jumped
though, I
out a
wasn't looking
window or
very hard at
something.
all. I was doing my forward shit, I wasn't looking at all. So if he did leave, I wouldn't have noticed.
Well, Aiden and Carlius, you reckon you can
Also,
look for some tracks or something? See if
sorry, I would
Barry
just
left?
say, as a secondary side note, just while I'm mentioning my choice of second favorite enemy, my second choice of natural explorer was Arctic. So all the benefits that applied to me in the forest should now also apply to me in the Arctic regions.
Thought it was tundra.
Arctic tundra, same thing.
Yeah, there is a very small distinction to be made there.
Fair enough.
Like the DM, the PHB doesn't actually make a distinction.
Yeah,
It says
good.
I can choose between forest, grassland, mountain, swamp.
I think it's alright.
Yeah,
like-
I'm usually not very
Yeah, sorry,
anal about
Arctic,
that.
coast, desert, forest, grassland, mountain, swamp, or underdark. So like,
that
I feel
right?
like forest and Arctic is basically tundra.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna be super anal about that at all.
Yeah, cool.
Alrighty, I guess you're leading this expedition, Longshore. Where do you think a snake would like to hang out?
Probably in the ground.
Well,
In the ground.
Yeah, snakes tend to have burrows.
Thorin nods his head slowly.
before we go though, you reckon you could look around for some clues as to where Mr. Angry went?
Mr. Angry.
I can.
Hit me out with an
Moment.
investigation.
It's survival to track.
Oh, I thought you were doing it in the house. If you're doing it outside, yeah, survival.
I might check inside if you check outside.
If you're checking inside, give me an investigation.
Okay, if you guys want to do it, oh, never mind. I was gonna say our guidance up to buy. Oh, fucking, who cares? Fuck it.
Right, Aiden, you know that there is, Aiden, you know that there is only the set of tracks from you guys coming into this house, as well as that one guy leaving back to the Trident. But that's it. No other tracks leading anywhere else. Well, I mean, including Aurelia's tracks as well, when she walked away as well.
So, just to clarify, we can see our tracks coming into the building. Like,
Yeah.
I can still see those.
Yeah.
Alright, so I can pretty safely conclude then that they did not leave by normal means. Because if they'd covered their tracks when they left, they would have covered ours.
I just had an idea.
By
I want to
virtue
go out
of-
to the. I want to go outside, out to the front where the old dude is who died.
Yeah, you do say? Oh, sorry. Totally gapped this. Tobias, you check around inside with that investigation roll. You don't see any sign of the guardsman at all, like the guy who led you here, at all. It's like he didn't even set down his stuff to go to sleep or anything. Like, there's no sign of him whatsoever.
Okay.
Alright.
So
Oh, did you want to elaborate on that?
I'm just gonna like say out loud 2 schools of thought at the moment. Either he's a ghost or he's teleported away or something, like as soon as he came inside, was out of
Look-
sight.
Longshore, are there still tracks from him when we first arrived?
I'm gonna turn this question over to our good friend West.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Not a
Bayra.
ghost then.
Alright,
So he
I'm-
definitely came into this house.
I'm gonna
So, I mean, that leaves us with
Check.
2 choices. He left by supernatural means, or there's a hidden exit somewhere.
I want to check the old dude. Now I know I already did a physical examination on him, but can I just with my fingertips pat his chest, his head, his arms and legs, and check if that isn't actually just a corpse that's disguised?
Hands up here, actually.
Aston, the 45-year-old, sort of looks at you as you start to do that, and he just holds a hand out and says, "Whoa, what do you want?" And he's obviously slightly still drunk and haven't slept for the night.
Hallucinatory.
Oh well, if he's drunk and hasn't slept, I'm gonna be like, I'm just giving him just a blessing from a concerned cleric, wishing him well on his way.
He just goes, and then just sort of leans back and shuts his eyes.
All right, I'll go back to the people.
But yeah, you prod the corpse, and what were you trying to discover?
If it was illusionary or not. To
Oh
see
no,
if that is
it's real.
actually
He actually passed away.
Okay.
Normal
That's
old dude.
unfortunate. We should piss on them just to be sure.
No.
See, Tobias, you're a very negative person. You're constantly saying No, Longshore. Don't do that. No, Longshore. Put that down. Longshore. 47 stabs is enough. I just want to hear yes from you once.
Once we're in the
47 stabs is
forest, like, you're the boss, you know that. But trust me when I say people don't... Actually, saying that people don't take kindly to people urinating on people probably doesn't mean much to you. You just do it for kicks, don't you?
Yeah, it's hilarious. I know it upsets me.
Okay, well, please don't, because it's
Hey,
really not...
Holy
normal.
shit, my dinner is so fucking spicy. I just tasted the sauce. This is gonna be fun.
What did you get?
Meatballs.
Oh, I'm so glad I didn't get those meatballs then. Because I was thinking about it. Anywho,
So Tobias, you already combed this place down, right?
Yeah, there's no sign of him inside. I'm thinking he teleported away, like, as soon as he was out of line of sight from us.
That seems weird.
Yeah, this job is really sus.
Maybe he was the guy who hired us in the first place.
Maybe, but... Yeah, I don't know. I don't know enough to draw a conclusion. I just know it's really suspicious.
There's not enough information to properly deduce what's happening. So, as weird as it is, maybe we should just move on and mention it when we get back.
Yeah, keep it in mind. It might become relevant, but for now we should go try and find that snake.
Yeah, make use of the daylight while we've got it.
Yeah. Okay,
Let's set off.
lead the way, Longshore.
Well, I guess you guys.
I
I'm gonna
proceed to
cast-
lead the way.
Gonna cast Mage Armor, so I'm not quite as squishy.
Actually, before we go, I have something that I can do. Kira would probably be most applicable to this. Does anybody remember if Kira had anything she liked particularly?
How do you mean?
Pardon?
How do you mean? Like,
Well, I have a spell where I can.
yeah.
I have the spell divination, but I have to make an offering for it to work. And I feel like Kira would probably be the most applicable person to ask for rough instructions of where to go and what to do.
Also, just on the subject of Kira, if we're gonna talk to her, we should find out how Anio's doing.
It's not like a direct communication. It's a vague answer at best. But
Yeah,
still,
but even so, like,
well, I can't talk to it right now. So, we will ask her when we get back, but if we get back,
what were you thinking of using the spell for? Like, what were you gonna...
just rough instructions. It's a ritual, so I can do it without, using up any of my resources.
She's god of the hunt and the harvest, so...
It's a pretty good one to appeal to, I think.
So if you're looking for an offering, like...
It has to be worth like
Food?
25 gold, though.
Yeah.
Is
That's
it worth
like
even worrying
all our
about?
rations.
Yeah, is it even worth worrying about, do you think?
Maybe if we get stuck, we can use it, but...
Okay,
think
well, I've
now-
also got another spell called Locate Creature.
Okay, giant snake.
Pretty much.
How far range?
1,000 feet. So it's kind of like a sonar. But we have to be within the forest.
how often can you cast that as a ritual?
That's not the ritual. That one's a one-time. That's my 4th level spell slot right there.
And you only have one slot of that?
Just one.
Alright.
It lasts for an hour,
I
though.
mean, that said, I feel like,
It's like an hour of me scanning our surroundings up to 1,000 feet. If it
Yeah,
gets within it, I'll know where
I
it is.
feel like a giant snake was gonna leave pretty obvious tracks anyway.
Yeah, let's try the mundane methods first before we get into that.
Fair enough.
Who you calling mundane, bitch?
Non-magical. Happy?
No.
All right, let's go.
So you guys sort of leave the farm area, and he's still sort of sitting there with his father. And you travel along the main road that now turns to sort of like dirt road. It doesn't take too long before you actually enter the very outskirts of the Forest of Vida. And immediately you can see that a lot of the trees that are lacking leaves due to winter, quite a good number of them are sort of knocked over. But they're sort of leaning in odd angles, sort of randomly jagged, and they're held up by very thick strands of white webbing that you at first almost don't see due to the snow, but just because the trees look weird, you're like, oh, it's been held up by webbing.
I draw my blade.
Yeah, pull my wand out and get ready.
Yeah, I'll grab the rapier just in case.
I knock an arrow in my bow, and just my entire body shudders with pleasure to be holding it again.
Do these trees look like they'll catch on fire if we try and burn these webs down? I say to Longshore.
That's a good question. West.
You can roll
I
survival
feel like you're
first.
just my middleman for half of these questions.
Which is fair.
You can roll me a survival.
Yeah, I am. I just had to find my...
Alright. You immediately know that these webbings aren't like any other webbing that you've seen in the past. They're definitely not natural spider webbing.
I relay this information.
Looks like there might be a cause to this infestation. More
Also,
than just this is where spiders live.
Just while I have a moment, is my bow's eye still shut?
No, it's open now.
I'm gonna lean in and just be like, "Hey man, we good?
It-
1 for yes, 2 for no."
It eyes up towards you, and you see its pupils dilate in size, then constrict again, and then it very quickly, like in a jagged movement, faces forward again.
I think that's a yes. I give it a gentle pat. I missed you, buddy.
The eye squints a little bit.
I'm sorry I didn't recognize your sentience sooner. I'll take better care of you. I stroke it gently.
Am I the only one that's a bit creeped out by that?
I'm just glad he's on our side.
You're not wrong.
Alright, seeing as you're stroking it and you're actually taking care of your weapon for once in your life, you can roll an Arcana for me at advantage.
Oh, sick. Oh,
Nice.
thank God it was an advantage.
Where you're gripping your bow, you feel a strange influence sort of prickling at your fingers and the palm of your hand. Almost as though it's knocking on a door asking to be let in.
Do I have the wherewithal to open the door?
It's sort of like in your mind. It's like, yes or no.
Yeah, I know, but like, do I have the wherewithal to respond?
I'm going to cast resistance on him real quick.
To be fair, you have no idea
Yeah,
what's going
you
on.
wouldn't know.
Oh, okay.
Like, as far as you're concerned, I've just like said something to my bow, and you're like, "That's weird," but whatever.
Yeah,
Oh,
fair enough. Okay.
What was your
Disregard.
question, Longshore? I didn't catch it.
Do I have the wherewithal to respond?
What does wherewithal
My
mean?
Arcana. Like, do I have the presence of mind?
Oh yeah. You can respond.
Alright, well, in that case, I'd wholeheartedly open the door.
All right, you do so, and suddenly, everyone can now see this, and you see these red tendrils suddenly erupt from Aiden's hand that he's grabbing onto this bow. Then,
Oh,
Wait, can I?
Yeah.
Sorry, can I roll a dex save to just, or even if I don't have to roll a dex save, I want to scream something as this happens.
yeah, you can scream something. Nothing to stop you from screaming.
If any of you stop this from happening, I'll kill you all.
I lift my hands and I take a couple steps backwards.
Then you see these red tendrils start to slap at your wrists and then your forearm, crawling up your entire arm and consuming it slowly.
Take
Then
me, Bo-san.
the entire bow, the wooden parts, they start to sort of change shape and take on a much more redder view. and they start to mold around your entire arm from the elbow down. And it reshapes itself into the visage of a sword. And then it shudders a little bit. And
Does the sword have the eye like right in like the
pretty
the
much where
guard?
your elbow joint might be.
I'm imagining it basically a Soul Edge, if any of you guys have played any of the Soul Calibur games.
Yeah.
And then it just sort of like wriggles a tiny bit, and in your mind yet again, yes or no.
Like, out of character, I'm confused as to whether this means I'm okay with it being a sword instead of a bow, or...
I can't tell you more than that. It's up to your interpretation at this point.
Am I able... actually, I guess there's only one way to find out. Rather than responding with yes or no, I ask the bow the same question I just asked you. Or, I guess, the sword, same question I just asked you.
It just repeats the same question, almost as though it doesn't fully comprehend. It's as though an infant's trying to speak, and it just repeats yes or no. Very primal in nature.
I mean... Can I roll insight on the bow?
Then as you sort of, for lack of a better term, a little bit cautious about it, the red strands start to withdraw themselves and they reform at the palm of your hand and they take the shape of a bow again.
Okay. I mean, as long as it's still a bow, I'm happy. So, cool. We'll revisit this later.
But aside from that, you continue on to the forest and you're looking around for the serpent, I assume? You just determined that the webbings that are holding the trees up are magical in nature and not like the normal webbings.
Just one thing I wanted to check. So, like, are there still red veins on my hand,
No, not anymore.
or is it? Oh, so it's basically just as it was before.
Mhm.
Okay, cool. Sorry, please continue.
Yeah, that's it. Just magical webs, not like normal webs that spiders would spew out.
Can I? Oh yeah. Longshore, do you reckon the trees will catch?
Oh yeah, where's will the trees catch?
You can assume so.
Yeah, probably.
This is gonna make clearing this a lot harder.
I would like to. Can I roll a survival just to see if I can see even the lightest trace of a giant snake track?
Yes. You know that.
Ranger extraordinaire.
You know that to the very edges of this forest, like every single piece of ground has been covered multiple times, and tracks seem to go all over the place.
Ooh. Guys, this thing has been here for a long time.
Also, the track's size, it almost is as wide as the road itself. Almost. Not quite, but almost.
Guys, this thing's been here for a really long time. It's much bigger than we anticipated. And...
How big is much bigger?
Yeah, because I was picturing a pretty big snake, so...
you know the roads we've been traveling on?
Yeah.
We'd have to... we'd have to, like, pull aside to let it pass. No matter what lane we were in.
Fuck.
Okay.
Guys,
so
we might be a little bit over our heads here.
I think the
definitely try
friendly
diplomacy
approach
first, right?
is
Excuse me.
the fuck up.
Oh, bite me.
You absolute fucking degenerate. This is why I want to go back to France.
I'm honoured. I am genuine. I am genuinely honoured to be the first person to break Jacob.
Yeah,
You haven't
West,
broken
I
me, I
think
just
you have
dislike
some
you.
deep-seated issues.
It is not my choice. It just happens
See,
to be
they're
the
not
thing.
so much deep-seated, they're just deep within his seat.
You'd like that, wouldn't you?
Oh, Westwood. Anyway,
Moving on.
Moving right along.
Anyway, guys, I don't know how close we are, but I mean, given the fact that it's been everywhere here, like I can tell just even by the way of the land, it's shaped the very earth on which we walk.
Oh shit, I forgot a big important detail. Sorry, because you got a nat 20. Oops, sorry. It was supposed to be much harder, but you look up to the tops of the trees, and all atop the canopies, instead of leaves, you see thousands of red eyes staring back at you, and you immediately recognize just
That's
thousands
very
and
important.
thousands. Yeah, no, thousands and thousands of spiders atop the treetop. They're sort of scurrying about every now and again across all the webbings that they've made. But despite the fact that they're staring at you, they don't actually come closer.
Thorin reels back and falls into the snow.
Roll a
Confused by
1d20.
why he's done this, I point upwards.
Oh, I figured we all saw
Yeah,
that.
I'm just being a dick.
Roll a 1d20 as you fall down.
Sure. Do I land on a spider?
Yes.
So does that hit you?
No!
Okay.
I mean, are you looking at the 10 or the net 20?
No, the nat 20 doesn't hit me. There's no way. I have actually 30 AC.
Okay, I don't know why it's doing a +0, so give me a sec.
It should be much higher.
It should be much higher. You're right. No, I'm just kidding. It's only a +3, so 11, 14, 17 piercing damage. As you fall backwards and you feel these large fangs sort of dig into the small of your back. Then you feel the pumping of some fluid enter into your body.
How much damage, sorry? Was it 14?
17.
17.
Oh, no. 14, because you don't
Okay.
roll the thing for the crits.
Seeing as I have seen the abundance of spiders, is there any possibility of me rolling dex to kick at the spider as it starts? Like, I mean, I fully accept that it has bitten him, but could I, like, try and kick it immediately thereafter to try and limit the amount of venom that's injected?
Well, Thorin can roll a... Oh. Well, there you go.
Oh, well, I guess you're fine now.
So for Thorin, you fall backwards and immediately you feel this sharp pain and a bit of fluid goes into you. Then you stand back up and you hold your back, the small of your back as blood starts to come out. Then you turn around, everyone looks towards the floor and sort of like half embedded inside the dirt floor is this dead frost spider that's sort of belly up. Its fangs
Oh yeah,
well
Thorin, I meant to
exposed.
say look at spiders. Wait, was it dead before he fell on it? Or
It was dead. Fresh, but dead.
so you're just like super fucking unlucky.
Yeah, I'm just
Yeah,
gonna kill wounds myself.
Because that was a nat 20, I'm like, oh, okay, well. Not supposed to be,
Ow.
but-
Okay. Careful where we step then.
But so, like, just to be clear, it wasn't him falling on you who killed it.
Yeah, no.
It was already dead.
Mhm.
It just was like fangs up.
Yep.
Alright, I kill wounds myself and just go... Much better.
Well,
Hmm.
like Tobias isn't taking his eyes off the spiders above us. He's just like looking up. But he says, "Longshore, do you think you can track it?"
I was
Uh,
actually just about to ask Westman.
I'll also
Like-
give you a little bit more, because I forgot to describe the spider. It's about as big as 2.5 of you guys put together. The main thorax of it.
Which
legs.
of us in particular, though? Because, like, two
Thorin,
Tobiases is
Thorin and
nothing.
Longshore. Thorin and Longshore together. 2.5
So
of you
fucking
guys.
huge.
Yeah, fucking huge. But that's only the size of its thorax. Like, its legs obviously go much wider.
Christ! What the fuck have we stumbled into?
At least one spider.
I think that's
In your
Thanks.
face.
Thanks, guys.
I think this
Still
is what
not
they
taking
call.
my eyes off the canopy.
Yeah, I think this, guys, is what they call fuck this shitville. You know, just across the corner from Nopeston.
Maybe this snake is much more important than we realized. I figured there were
Yeah.
giant spiders like the ones we've encountered before, like as big as us. We could smash those, but if they're this big,
And there's this many of them.
and we're only on the outskirts, we
Yeah.
haven't even gone into the forest yet. We're like at the tree line.
No.
Carlius and Longshore.
I forgot the movie, guys. There you go. Boom.
Yeah. If I could continue to try and ask this question.
Yeah, you go.
With my fucking nat 20 for trying to track the spider. Sorry, snake. Can I tell at the very least roughly the direction its lair would be?
Okay. Because you got that 20, I'll allow this. You know that this snake is also not like the other snakes that you would have seen in L6. Obviously, it's fucking huge. And just looking atop all the trees, you know that this snake also likes to perch itself amongst the trees. It sort of goes from tree to tree, and you can very obviously see this from sort of like huge dents in some of the bark of the tree. It might also explain why some of the trees are toppled over.
Well, actually, then, to all of us, this is something we should look for, because you guys could see this just with perception. If you see bark rubbed off trees and notice a tendency in the direction of the rubbed off bark, that's probably the direction we should head.
Keep an eye out for it. I'm definitely not taking my eyes off all those frickin' spiders above us. So
That makes
I'll
two
let you
of
know
us.
if I see anything.
Well, you guys watch the spiders, I'll look at tree bark.
Okay.
Thank you.
Doran's super on edge right now, like sword ready, about to fucking swing at something.
Please
we
don't.
should, we should like figure out a backup plan if things go pear-shaped to get the heck out of here alive.
I can pop a spirit guardians and make it painful for things to approach us, but that's the best I've got.
Question first.
Yes.
My perception and survival are exactly the same, which makes my passive perception equal to my survival. So could I use survival as my passive perception to look for said rubs on trees from where a snake's gone past them?
I will keep it in mind, and I will tell you if you come across it.
Cool, thank you.
I won't just let it go by because you forgot to roll or something. Don't worry, I won't do that.
Thank you.
Carlos and Longshore, how confident do you feel about outrunning spiders and snakes if we need to run away?
That depends. How fast are you, Tobias?
I
'Cause
can
I just-
teleport 500 feet. That's why I'm asking you guys.
I can definitely run a long way, so, and very quickly, so I'm confident. But, yeah.
Can I run faster than... Because all I need is to run faster than one.
No, actually,
Well,
not with this
I
new
was-
fancy cape.
Even with
I
heavy
was going to
armor.
bring him along with the teleport, if that was how...
No.
Oh, I see how it is.
Because I can move at 40 feet now. I have
Okay.
a 40,
What?
40 speed. Yeah, I've got a cloak of speed.
Oh. Well, I see how it is.
Fuck me, I guess.
Okay, so if we need to skedaddle, I'll grab Longshore, we can teleport away, open up the range for him, and
I
you
would
guys
very-
can leg it.
Yeah, we can
Does
just
that sound
fucking
good?
book it.
Okay.
I mean,
That's-
that said, though, the only threat we've had from a spider so far has been a dead one.
Still, it's...
And if you look upwards, they're very clearly avoiding where we are.
I know,
I
it's
feel
just...
like if they wanted to come down, we'd be dead already.
Yeah,
Hey,
I
you
just
get
feel it's
inspiration.
prudent to
What, me?
plan ahead.
Yeah, you.
Oh, sick. Sorry, no XP, guys. That's just... That fills my inspiration.
All good.
That's alright.
But yeah, like if they wanted to come down, we'd be dead already. So we're definitely close to where we need to be. Because Thorin fell on a dead one and almost died anyway.
That's a stretch.
Well, I mean, imagine fighting for
Yeah, no. If that thing's gonna be biting at us, that's not.
and
That's,
look up. Imagine fighting all of them.
I really don't want to go into this place here.
I mean, I feel like we don't want to go out of this place. This is where they don't want to be.
Fair enough.
It's leaving here that's dangerous. We should go in. The closer we get to the giant snake, the less threat the spiders pose us.
That's very true.
Well, I'm sold.
And
Look,
you know,
I'll
to
trust
be
your
honest,
judgment.
I'm thinking
It's
less
better
and
than I
less
do.
that it might be stupid enough for me to mind meld with it, but I'm thinking more and more the enemy of our enemy is.
Well, our enemy currently is the snake.
We don't know.
Point up again at the giant spiders.
Well, yeah, but we're here to hunt the snake.
Well,
Possibly.
that's why we're here, but I'm not sold we should do that yet until we know the whole story.
Hang on. So the agreement was to take a tooth.
The agreement was 200 gold for every tooth we bought back.
Right. Do we have to kill the serpent to get the teeth?
Strictly speaking, no, but if it doesn't
Yeah.
have its teeth, it's gonna die.
I was actually thinking of that as well. Like, if the snake does potentially end up being intelligent, because they never specifically said the fangs. We could just take like a molar.
Can I check the
think
contract?
Snakes have molars, do they?
Can I check the
But they
contract
have
and
more
just make
than
sure
two
that
teeth,
it
at least.
says fangs or just teeth?
By the specific wording, you would know that this guy wants the two biggest fangs on the top of the snake, the ones that inject the venom, not just any teeth.
Isn't that the only teeth in a snake?
Oh no,
Fangs?
some snakes can have more, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Or maybe that's just a movie thing. I don't know.
No, I'm pretty sure snakes have like a bunch of teeth, but they just have like two.
Not
big
all of
fangs.
them, but some of them should, I think.
Well, that's beside the point anyway. We need the fangs for the contract.
Well, yeah.
Oh, this sounds a little bit too depressing, sorry.
Okay, well, let's keep following the tracks and we'll burn that bridge when we get to it.
So, is my 20 sufficient to figure out to reach its lair, or do
No.
I need to roll again?
There is no indication of where its lair might be.
We could kill a whole bunch of spiders and hope it draws it here. I mean, I could chuck a fireball up there and probably get a good bunch of them.
Except the trees will burst into flames.
This is true. But will it spread that far? It's like really snowy. I don't think it'll spread from tree to tree if they're not touched.
There's a lot of what's the word? Like not undergrowth, but like detritus underneath the snow.
And a lot of webbing that goes from tree to tree too.
Also
Yes. And in D&D, webs are incredibly flammable.
Yes.
In real life, webs are incredibly flammable.
No, they're inflammable. I know they're not flammable.
I've lit a web on fire before.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it depends on the spider.
Probably, yeah. Okay. So fireball probably no go.
Unless we want chaos. I do like chaos.
I mean,
And
acid
fire.
might be a good approach.
I can't do acid.
Well, what's the fucking point of you then to buy? I'm just fucking with you.
I mean, we could toss the dice and I'll just open the floodgates and see what comes out. I've drained the life from people before, but
It's true.
Or just like wild magic and hope for the best.
yeah.
I
I think that's
maybe,
a terrible idea, but it's on the
like
table.
maybe make that like our plan G